Hi again, it's Celeste, and today I want to talk about something that we're all going to deal with from time to time. It's something that's really, really important to every single person who's starting out on this new journey of performing for glam and luxury events, and that is something called imposter syndrome.
Are you a classically trained violinist, dreaming of stepping out of the orchestra and into the spotlight? But maybe the world of solo gigs feels intimidating? You're not alone. Welcome to the Glam Violinist, the podcast that empowers classically trained musicians to build thriving careers as sought-after entertainers. I'm your host, Celeste V, and each week we'll break down the secrets to getting the gigs you've been dreaming of. Get ready to unleash your inner rock star and turn your passion into a paycheck. Let's get glamorous.
So I don't have a script for today. I'm kind of going off book, so I hope that you'll roll with me on this one. Imposter syndrome is simply the feeling that I'm not good enough, or I'm trying to be something that I'm not. And that is something that I know I have dealt with in the past. I think we all have. There are so many violinists out there who intimidate the heck out of me. And it's so funny because when I talk with them, they come back and they say, well, this is what I really admire about you. And these are the things that you do really well. And I realize that we all have our own strengths. I know that I'm never going to be those violinists. I know that I'm never going to maybe book the same clients that they are. But I also know that I have met so many clients who feel such a connection to me because of who I am, because of my personality. And they will go out of their way and they'll really make an effort to have me at their event because they feel like I am the right one for them. It's not always about how good you are. It's not always about being the best. It's about being authentic, being real, being you, and letting that shine through so that those people out there who are your ideal clients will be drawn to you. So when you feel intimidated by other violinists, just like I do, instead of comparing yourself to them, think about what you do that makes you unique. It's really easy when you're scrolling through Instagram and you're finding these people who inspire you to start comparing yourself to them. I highly encourage violinists when they're starting out on this journey to follow those people who inspire them, the ones who make them feel like they can do better, who they get ideas from every time they watch. Ooh, I love that outfit. I'm going to see if I can find something that's similar to that. Or I love the way that she looks at the camera and spins into it. I did the same thing when I was starting out. I had my own style and my own kind of performance vibe, but at the same time, I would watch other violinists and learn from them. That is healthy. That is beautiful. That is good. But when it's not good is when you start to feel those negative feelings about yourself when you watch other people's videos. So while I don't believe in trying to compare yourself to other people, I do believe in protecting your own mental health. So there are people that I've had to unfollow on various platforms because I didn't feel good about myself when I watched their videos. Maybe it's because they had a certain look and I knew I was never going to attain that. Or maybe I felt like it was something that just didn't vibe with me. I have unfollowed people intentionally and tried to protect myself so that I can only be inspired by those who make me feel hopeful, who make me feel positive, who make me smile when I watch their videos. And I want you to do the same thing. Be really intentional. Be aware of when you're watching other violinists and when you're learning from them and when you are trying to get inspiration from them. How does it make you feel deep down? Does it make you feel hopeless? Like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do that. Or does it make you feel like, okay, there's some things here that I can learn from. What can I do and what can I take from this video and incorporate it into my next performance? And you know what? It might feel a little weird. I don't want to say inauthentic because it's not. It's maybe outside of your comfort zone. It might feel like it's not really you at first. Everything you do when you first start is gonna feel a little weird. You know, when you first picked up your violin, It didn't just naturally just happen overnight. Obviously, you have to practice it. You have to get used to what that bow feels like and how everything connects. Like, it's not just instantaneous. It's the same way with performance style. It's not going to happen overnight, and it may or may not fit your personality to a T, but that doesn't mean you can't still incorporate elements of that glam performance vibe. There is always going to be somebody out there who is better than you, and that's okay. You do not have to be the best violinist or the best dancer or the best performer. You do not have to be somebody else in order to be completely successful in your career. I have seen people from so many different backgrounds with so many different skill sets and personalities who have been successful in this industry because they embrace who they are. People are going to be drawn to you because of what makes you unique, not because you fit a mold. You're going to be drawn to the people who have things in common with you, who share a similar aesthetic or a similar genre of music, or they just like your personality and they feel like they are connected to you when they have that client call. They're going to watch your videos and feel an instant connection. They're going to listen to your recordings and just feel something that's going to make them feel connected to you. It's not because you're the best. It's not because you're the most glamorous. It's because you are who you are. Also, remember that those people that you admire didn't start out spinning around the dance floor. They started out playing in an orchestra just like you. They started out playing in string quartets and in ensembles. Then they started out playing in the corner with a backing track. And then they started to develop their own personality and their own style. They did not turn into the performer that they are today overnight. They developed those skills. They learned them. They practiced them. They started to make them feel more natural over time. It doesn't happen overnight, but everybody starts somewhere, and you can also. And that's really what it's about. It's about always trying to be better, but not putting yourself down and not feeling like you have to be somebody else in order to succeed. So imposter syndrome is something you may or may not deal with. Most of us do in some way, shape, or form. And every stage of my career, I have dealt with imposter syndrome. I have felt like, oh, well, I'm not that person, so I can't do that. Or, well, I'm not a good enough business person, so I can't grow to that level. I have dealt with that, and I think you will too. And I just want you to know that it's okay. Acknowledge it. Okay, this is how I feel right now. This is a very legitimate feeling, and I know where it's coming from, but I'm going to say no. And I'm going to instead focus on how I can improve, how I can be better at each performance, how I can continue to grow and stretch my boundaries and become the very best that I can be. So when you hear that little voice telling you you're not good enough, you are not that person, I want you to remember everything that you have put into your craft to get you to where you are today. I want you to remind yourself of those hours and hours and hours that you have spent in the practice room, that you have honed your craft. I know that it's a challenge to start something new and to step outside of your comfort zone, but I encourage you to do it. Try it. Practice at home in a mirror until you're more comfortable with your spins, until you're more comfortable smiling while you perform, until you're more comfortable making eye contact with the camera. All of these things are really, really possible, and I know that you will succeed. Thank you so much for listening to this very short podcast. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you will take this to heart and really embrace who you are. And if you enjoyed, please subscribe, come back for more. I'll have more tips and tricks and ideas for you in the coming weeks. And also, please share this podcast with a friend who you think might enjoy it or might learn from it. Also, follow me on Instagram. You can find me at The Celeste V. That's The Celeste VEE. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Glam Violinist. We are in this together, and I believe in you. I can't wait to watch you succeed on this journey, no matter where you are right now. Until next time, this is Celeste V reminding you to stay glamorous.